Hello, what's up? I'm back and I got some more thoughts for you. So sit down, relax, and get ready to think about some shit. You know, today I want to talk about old people. And this has been really relevant for me because I've been in a, I've recently worked a job in which I work with old people a lot, and whenever they came in, I was always really ambivalent about it. I felt always really weird. I was kind of like, oh, that's creepy. By the way, I was wearing a scarf because it's cold as fuck out here, and I'm looking for places with good light. So I would work with these old people. And there was always something in me, and I'm like, I don't like these old people, man. Like, they're kind of creeping me out a little bit. You know, some people find, maybe mostly girls, they find old people to be cute, and they want to work in geriatric settings. But that was never me, you know. If I could ever, pawn this old person out to somebody else to work with, I would gladly do it. And, you know, they kind of come in, all old and frail, and they kind of could fall any second. They come in their wheelchairs, and they could really just do the most basic of movements. And I kind of, was really, something in me just didn't want to be around that level of, I guess, disability. And I just kind of saw how frail they were, and it's like, ugh, it's like something part of old people are creepy, you know? And as fucked up as that sounds, I want to be honest, and that's how I felt. And but I was wondering why I felt that way. I think a big part of it is when we're hating on people, and I'm indeed being a hater when I'm thinking that, is a big part of you is saying that that's not me. Whatever it is you're hating, I'm not like that, that's not me. And I read that somewhere, I don't know where. But I think that I started to really think about that and sort of process that, the emotions and the thoughts and the assumptions. The assumptions being that they're old, they probably complain a lot, they're really dependent on people, they're a burden. And that's why we fucking put them in nursing homes, you know? It's oh man, fucking grandpa's complaining about shit, he's got all these pains that no one can do anything about. So I don't want to deal with that shit, I want to live my life and achieve my goals and conquer the world. Let's put him aside so I can go ahead and do that. And, you know, that's fucking unfair and mean. But they're in nursing homes, right? They got their 24-hour nurses, and we put them aside and we can conquer the world. It happens. And I think that as I'm reflecting on that, you know, I think that I don't want that to be me. When I'm older, I still want to be straight as an arrow, not all hunched over. I want to be walking, I want to be still talking, making my deals, negotiating, doing all the things I want to do, and still, you know, walking towards self-actualization. I don't want to be all old and, you know, can hardly get upstairs. I don't think anyone wants that, honestly. Maybe they didn't want that either, but life happens. So, it's easy when you're hating on something, or even there's something that's really vulnerable and brings out this feeling in you to push that aside. You know, we do that with the mentally ill and the disabled. How many homeless people have you seen, if you're in New York City or wherever you are, and you kind of see their circumstances, oh, that sucks, and you walk away, you know? But it's cold, that's why I'm wearing a scarf. It's they have to live in that cold. I got a really nice warm jacket that gets me by, and then I complain because my car's heater doesn't turn on quick enough, and I run into a building with warm heat, you know, but they have to fucking sleep outside, and that sucks. That's their reality. But you know what? Why don't we just not think about that? That's the reaction we have. The same with disabled people, you know. They got their handicapped bathroom stalls with all the room. And you think, man, how luxurious is this? But guess what? They have a whole host of limitations they gotta live with. And then they gotta still move their way through the world with that, in spite of that. And that sucks. But, you know, let's not think about that, right? Fuck that. I got my own goals and my own problems. I'm not gonna think about that. And the same with poor people. You know, I complain about iPhone 6s or whatever, and how I want a new car or a new camera. But then there's people who, you know, can hardly eat, living in really shitty neighborhoods where there's violence and drugs. And, you know, it's easy to just oh, you know what, I don't want to drive through that area. I'm going to just find the freeway or the highway or whatever. And just go around that, and we won't even think about that. But guess what? Although we may not be thinking about it, it's happening. People are living like that. And I don't know, I guess if you really wanted to, you can choose this world and fill your life with all these beautiful able-bodied people and just live in that paradise. But these people have to have something, they have something to offer, you know? And do those beautiful people have something to offer? Aside from their beauty, but they have something to offer. I mean, it's not fair to just kind of push people. I mean, aside from it being not fair, that's not good for us. Because guess what? That's you, and that's me. I see these old people, and what really turned around my feelings for them was that I realized, dude, that could be me. You know? I could be that late 80s, 90s person fucking can't walk no more and I have to rely on somebody to help me. And that's life, it happens. That could be me. And that could be me, like we're all like one financial disaster away from being in that shitty neighborhood. We're all one accident away from being disabled or homeless or any of that. That's you. It can be you. So are you going to want people to be ignoring you at that point? And I kind of kept this in mind, and now when I'm working with these, or when I'm kind of in contact or working with other people or talking to them, I realize it's like, you could be me, or I can be you, whatever, like, I don't know if that worked, but, and you sort of see how, I see that, yeah, it could be, and like, I kind of feel a lot more compassion for them, and I kind of feel much more willing to help them. And you know, in that I kind of see that, I don't know if maybe their ride is over per se. I mean, who knows how long they got left, but they've lived through some cool shit. They've been on this earth a lot longer than I have. 3 times as much probably, maybe fucking 4 times as much, but and that definitely counts for something. I mean, they've been through a lot. They've seen like fucking Desert Storm and all these kind of our country and all kinds of phases of its life, phases of their life, lessons they've learned, you know, and through all of it, you know, being a kid, being an adolescent, being a parent, being a grandparent, you know, struggling, first jobs, careers, all this kind of stuff, and they're just kind of this wealth of information. And it's beyond fascinating, the lives that these people have led. And, you know, they want to tell people about it. They want to be heard. They're tired of fucking being pushed aside and not being thought about. So, it's something to think about, you know, when you're pushing people aside and not thinking about certain people. It's like, well, that could be you. So, in that case, though, you will not thinking about you. So, choose, you know. I never say you should do this or you should do that. Maybe I did say that, I don't know, but that's not the point. I always want to just kind of present perspectives, and then you say, what do I want to be? And you make that choice. Alright, so peace out. Hope that was cool. Hope it helped you think. And stay tuned, subscribe. Peace out. Take care.